Hey guys, I'm just wondering how many of you guys feel lost after 50? Now, I asked myself this question when I turned 55, and um, and being lost doesn't mean that you're a failure in life, right? For a lot of us, can have the house, the great family, the great career, but you still feel kind of lost afterwards. I think I think it's a strange feeling. Um, I didn't have it in my 40s or younger, but I think a lot of people think that after 50 that you should have everything figured out. But I think a lot of us who are in our 50s now, and us Gen Xers who are going to be retiring soon, to kind of ask like, okay, well, I've done all this. So what's the next step in life? What does my second half of life, how's it going to look like? And I think the moment I realized this was a few years ago, and I met up with a friend who was very bright when we were kids. It was grade seven, and I hadn't seen him in decades. So I saw him. We're in our 50s now, and I asked him, and he came in a little bit disheveled. So I asked him, what are you doing now? And he says he's kind of working at a computer repair shop, and he's thinking of starting his own side hustle. And I said, well, why don't you start some consulting? Go big. And he said, well, Raz, I maybe felt more ambitious when I was younger, and now I'm okay just doing what I do. And I respected that, and it started to make me think about, um, you know, am I wasting my life away? Have I done enough, right? Am I satisfied that I've done enough up to this point in my life? And one of the things that I haven't done was travel a lot. I always wanted to travel the world, but I always kept putting it off because I told myself I have to make a little bit more to secure myself because growing up we didn't have a lot of money, so we're always living day to day, and I promised myself when I got older that I was never going to live like that. So I think when you've been poor, you always have this fear that you're going to go back, and it's probably the biggest fear that drives me all the time. So for you guys, it might be a little bit different. Maybe you guys, it might be leaving a job because maybe the boss that you have is younger than you and doesn't get along with you, and you just don't feel a connection to the younger generation who are working there now because now you're considered the old person in the company. Maybe it might be spending more time with your family, or maybe reconnecting with old friends, or maybe it could be getting in tip-top shape, or making peace with your parents. And I think a lot of us, Gen Xers, we just want to feel useful again, right? And I think a lot of us just want to have a sense of direction as we enter the second part of our life. And I think for us, what we defined as success up to the age of 50 is much more different now, um, heading into the second part of our life. I think a lot of us definitely want more peace now, and we want to be able to manage our decline as well, better health, so that we can do the things that we set out to do and to be able to enjoy our retirement. And I think a lot of us are seeing our old roles in life kind of change. Maybe the career that we had is no longer defines us. I know for myself, being a martial artist, I was always a teacher and a competitor for many, many years, and that's what I became known as. But now that I'm getting older, I realize that I'm getting a little bit slower as well. So when I spar with my students, I have to say they give me a rough time compared to years ago when they didn't. So I know my time is coming, and I know that I cannot be overly physical. I know that I stopped training really, really hard like I used to. So maybe it's the same for you. Maybe the career that you have is getting a little bit stale, and you just can't wait to leave, retire, and do something new. Or maybe the body might not feel the same. Maybe your friends might change as well, because I know a lot of friends of mine, we just don't have the same interests anymore, right? Except the only thing bonding us was our connection as kids, right? But now as adults, we're just, I feel like for many of them, we're just so different. And and also, parents will, for a lot of us, are going to need our care. And so I think a lot of us Gen Xers are trained to just put our heads down and ignore, keep working. But I know for me, and probably many of you, that nobody has ever asked us, or no one's ever asked me, like, what do I really want? I was always told, go do this, go do that, and follow our directions, and don't talk back. And I think that starts to catch up with you later on, because you start asking these hard questions, whether I had set out to do what I wanted to do when I was younger. And I love to make analogies from jiu-jitsu, because in jiu-jitsu, if you were stuck in a position, it doesn't mean that you just give up, right? You would just wait for the opportunity for opening and capitalize on that opening to advance to a new position. And I think that's something that we can do when we're in our 50s, and start to head towards reinventing ourselves in a new way. And I don't see us feeling lost at this age is considered failure. That's not what I'm trying to get at. I'm seeing it as opportunity to, or as more or less a signal to reinvent ourselves and to do the things that we want to do before its time runs out. And I think this is a great opportunity to do it. I think I spoke to, actually, I read some of the comments from previous videos, and I see some people that kind of just resigned to the fact that they didn't, I guess, life didn't turn out the way they expected. And I'm hoping that this video gives all of you some hope that that we're in our 50s, but it doesn't mean it's the end. And there might not be the NFL football player that you want to be, but you can still do many other things that will bring you purpose and joy. And that's what I truly believe. So I'm curious to hear from all of you. What is the one part of your life after 50 where you felt lost? Was it your career? Was it relationships? Was it the lack of purpose, or something else? Please feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear from you. I try to read every comment. And if you like this content on this channel, and if this video resonated with you, please feel free to like, share, or subscribe. And feel free to check out my next video. And I will talk to you soon. Take care.